One of the questions that I get asked most frequently is, Ciana, how can I hit the ball with more power? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. And if you think about a sport like handball, one of the most important aspects to be strong and powerful in is with the rotation of our body. Every single shot that we hit requires us to rotate our body to some degree. Or it should. So if you're not doing that, then we should talk about that as well. So what we're going to do in this video is go through 3 different types of exercises that we can do, starting with body weight only, then we're going to use a resistant band, and then we're going to add in a single kettlebell. We're going to go through 5 exercises for each element so that you'll definitely have something that you can do at home or in your next training session. This bank of exercises is going to help you build strength in rotating and also in stopping that rotation, so anti-rotational movements. So it's not all just about swinging your body as hard as you can, it's actually about being able to stop, be controlled, come back into the appropriate position and do that repeatedly. And this is going to help you hit the ball hard, but also, maybe more importantly, stay healthy as you're playing handball. And I'm not going to do all the work. I have a lovely demo person here with me, Frida, who's also wearing my handball jersey because she's a handball player. I'm going to talk you through it. Frida's going to demonstrate it beautifully and you'll be able to follow along.
There you have it.
Maybe don't do all 15 back to back, but you know. So we're going to start with a rotational push-up. So Frida, you're going to do a push-up and then you're going to rotate up into a side plank, nice and controlled. So we're working that core rotation. You'll see that it is nice and controlled. It's not just doing it as quickly as you can. And we're working on shoulder stability in this movement as well. And you might want to do it on the other side as well, Frida. You're going to get a great work. All right. Next, you're going to go into a side plank reach through. So you're getting into your side plank position, and then again with control, going as far as you can underneath your body here. So that might be different for everyone. And then we're going to reach up overhead with that arm as well. There we go. And we're working again on core stability. A lot of the body weight ones are going to be core stability, controlling that movement with the trunk and rotation. Then we're going to go into a plank shoulder tap, and this one's actually going to focus on anti-rotation. So instead of rotating the body, we're trying to stop it from rotating as we lift that hand up. And when you're doing it, you'll notice that you really have to work your core and through your hips to stay nice and strong in this position. So what we wouldn't want to happen is a big hip shift as we do it. So you'll see how the hips rise there. So we have to engage to our core to stop that rotation from happening. Next, we're going to go into a movement that we're all probably quite familiar with, hopefully, if we're hitting some form of a sidearm. We're going to lunge and then we're going to twist in the direction of that front foot. And we're controlling that twist again. So we can add a bit of power at the start, but then we're controlling it at the end. And we'll do that on both sides always as well. Perfect. Ow. And then we're going to finish our 5th exercise, focusing on the endurance of that rotation. So Frida is going to thankfully get into a Russian twist position. And again, we're doing it with control. So we're not going as fast as we possibly could. So if you could show, what would it look like if you're going as fast as you can? You know, we're just moving really quickly. Whereas when we do it controlled, it's a bit slower and a lot more fatiguing. When you can combine rotational power and anti-rotational control, you build a body that is powerful and stable for playing handball, but also for life in general. That means that not only will you be able to generate force, but you'll be able to absorb it. You'll be able to change directions quickly. And all of those things are so important to become a top level handball player. Basically, if you want to be big and strong like me in the handball court, this is what you need to be doing. All right, so next we're going to use this tree as our anchor point for the band, and that's how simple it is. We don't even have to be at the gym. We just find a pole or something we can stick the band on, and now we can start doing rotational work with the band. So we're going to start with a pull-off press, and the main thing here we want to see is tension on that band, so it's not super loose, so that when we press it away, we have to resist that urge to rotate in towards the tree or pole or whatever it is that you're using. Next, we're going on to a more explosive movement using the whole chain. We're going to do a low to high banded wood chop. So you're starting with the hands down low and then you're going as powerful as you can, up as high as you can. Something with the banded work is to make it easier, go lighter on the band or closer. To make it harder, go heavier on the band or further away. Exercise number 3 is pretty much the opposite. You're going to bring the band up high, around head height, And then we're going to go from high to low with that wood chop. And something that we'll notice here is that we're working through the whole body, staying nice and stable and being as powerful as we can on the way down. Don't let that happen. Now we have anti-rotational walkouts. So for this, it does what it says on the tin. We're resisting the urge to rotate inwards. You'll notice a slight bend in the knee. That helps with the athletic stance, feeling strong through the whole body.
I'm sweating.
And now we have a rotational punch. So again, we're making it more explosive. We're working through the whole body, and you'll notice the lower body, the twisting onto that back foot, which is really important when we're hitting and connecting with the ball to get power through our whole body.
I'm gonna have so much power on one side.
Yeah. Well done. You did great. And when we think about handball, we might think about swinging our upper body hard, so rotating through the upper body. But we want to actually work on getting more power and rotational strength from our hips, from our legs, which are a lot stronger than our arms most of the time. So that's why a lot of these movements are going to incorporate using that whole chain from the ground up. And that's what we mean when we say that. It's not just the upper body, it's not just the legs, it's the whole body working together as one. All right, now we're grabbing our weight. Specifically a kettlebell would be great. And a simple way to think about this is to scale it, make it lighter. To make it harder, make it heavier, okay? So Frida's gonna start with a kettlebell halo. So you'll see she's bringing it around her head. This is gonna work the shoulders, but also you'll see that the core really has to stabilize to keep everything nice and strong. And we're not seeing major movements in the core here or in the hips as we fatigue especially. Next, we're going on to a kettlebell rotational swing. And now we're making things a bit more explosive and we're using the whole body as one. So you'll see we're starting with the lower body, driving through the hips, and then the arms are an extension. So we're actually getting a lot of that power from the hips. Now we're going into a half kneeling Palloff press, and Frida is going to regret the 16 kilos that she has here. So we are essentially just going to push the weight away from our body. Once the weight goes far away from our midline, it becomes a lot more difficult to control it, to stay in this nice upright position, and that comes from the core. Next, we're going on to a kettlebell windmill, which is going to combine focusing on stability and control on the way down. And then you'll notice as you drive back up, you actually need a lot of power coming through the trunk here to get back up to this top position. And then we can make it a bit harder by going into a deeper range of motion. Oh. Very impressed by Frida here doing that.
One, that's all you get. That was heavy.
All right, and the last of the kettlebell exercises is going to be a single arm farmer's carry. And what you'll notice here is with the weight in one side, you're going to want to be pulled to the side that weight is. So you're going to have to work and engage through the trunk to resist that rotation and stay nice and upright while you're doing it. Rotational exercises are going to help you hit the ball harder, feel more powerful, but those anti-rotational exercises are nearly even more important because they're actually what helps us build a strong core and protect us from injuries that can happen, like lower back issues, hip issues. If we're doing anti-rotational movements, those are a lot less frequent. All right, so Frida's had a great workout. I've just been standing around doing nothing. But hopefully with this bank of exercises, you have something that is available to you, whether you have equipment or not. And these are things that are going to help you build power, which will then translate into your game. And something that I like to think about with handball is, it's not just about hitting the ball hard and thinking about hitting the ball hard. It's about moving our body with that ball. So it's working as a full unit. And that's what these exercises will allow your body to do over time.
Well done.